doing, everybody? Today I am coming at you and telling you that dinner tonight is going to be super easy. Under 2 hours. I'm going to project 2 hours to cook this, but it's super easy, and I know everybody doesn't have a whole lot of time. They have families, you have a life. So I'm going to pop this in the oven at 450 for 25 minutes, and then I'm going to turn it down to 350 for the remainder of the time. But this is going to be super simple, and this meal today is going to feed 6 for under, yeah, you heard me, $10. $10 to feed 6. Hang on, here we go. What I've done here is I've filled my pot up a quarter of the way, because we're going to be steaming our red potatoes right here. So instead of starting with my chicken, because I don't want to get my board all chicken juiced out, I'm going to start with my red potatoes and my squash. I just have 4 red potatoes. I'm feeding 4 people tonight, but you guys, if you have 6, add a few more potatoes. So I've chopped up my red potatoes, and now I'm going to drizzle some olive oil, a good tablespoon. I'm going to add some of this Luvafoodie garlic levers. This stuff is so good, you guys. I advise you to get some. It's got garlic, it's got parsley, it's got basil, and salt and pepper in it, and it is so good. Instead of getting your fingers all smelly from garlic, I just love this stuff, and I use it on everything. You can use it on steak, chicken. So I'm sprinkling my potatoes generously. Then I'm gonna do some more pepper, fresh ground pepper, and a little bit of salt, because as you know, potatoes love salt. And then I'm just gonna tumble it around. Look how easy that is, not even getting my hands dirty. So what we're gonna do is just throw it right in here, and we're gonna steam these potatoes. I lied, I did get my fingers dirty. How could I not? Gotta get all that good stuff out of there, right? Can't waste that. So our potatoes are ready to go. Next, I'm just going to utilize this pan again. I've washed my squash, and today I'm only going to use half, and then I'll save the other half for tomorrow. I'm going to be cutting it once and then cutting it 3 times. So like this, because when it cooks down, it'll shrink. So I like to cut mine a little thicker, that way they hold up better after they've steamed. Okay, now we're just gonna salt and pepper these. A little more Luvafoodie garlic, just a little bit, because I don't want too much. I just want enough to flavor them a little bit, so they'll look pretty. And a little drizzle of olive oil. Now, if you're trying to watch, you know, how much fat you're eating and things like that, you can totally omit the olive oil. Isn't that pretty? Easy. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put these aside, and we're gonna start roasting these first, because these are gonna take probably around 30 or 40 minutes. And then these will only take about 15. So these will cook halfway, and then I will add our squash and finish it up. I've melted a half a cube of butter. I like to use Challenge butter, because it doesn't have all those additives in it. It's just cream. You can use whatever kind you want. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the chicken livers and add about a good two tablespoons to that. Then I have a lemon here that I've already used. I'm gonna squeeze a little bit of lemon juice into this. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to take the chicken out, and I'll be right back, and we will put this on the chicken. What you're gonna start with is I have taken it out of the package and washed it. Now I'm folding the wings back. This is a beautiful organic bird. It's about, I think it's about 5 or 6 pounds. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rub this butter, and we're gonna go under the skin. So if you take your fingers and go as far under the skin as you can, creating pockets, even into the leg area. See how I'm doing that? I'm just loosening the skin from the leg. So what you do by doing that is you're getting all those seasonings and putting them right onto the meat. That lemon juice and salt will help break down the meat and make it really moist. Let's see if I can stick it into the leg here. Oh, man, it smells good in here. You can smell that garlic, the lemon. See if we can get a little more of that under the meat, under the skin. Turn it over, flip some of this on the back. So here's what I would suggest. I would suggest leaving this in your refrigerator for a couple hours and letting it marinate. I don't really have time tonight, so I'm just gonna be sticking it in the oven, just like this. But if you can leave it on your meat, even overnight would be really great. So I'm actually going to be putting a little bit more of this seasoning on to the chicken. Cut up this used lemon, stick it right into the cavity. This will give it some nice lemony flavoring. Okay, so our chicken is all prepped, and I'm sticking it in the oven for about 30 to 40 minutes at 450, and then I'm gonna turn it down to 350 and let it finish. And then that's the time I'm gonna be putting the fire underneath the roasted potatoes. And then dinner will be ready all at the same time. So it's been 8 minutes, and I'm checking my squash. I don't want it too done. It still has a couple more minutes. Potatoes are getting done. Doesn't that look delicious? Okay, so this is done, but the chicken's not quite done, so I'm just gonna turn it off, remove it from the heat. I'm just gonna set it over here until our chicken is done. What do you think of that, guys? Look at the juices running in that. So delicious. taking a little piece of this to try it. Doesn't that look good? Nice and juicy, for sure. For under $10, we fed 6 people. Well, I'm actually feeding 4, but oh, it was so good. And I know that I'm not putting a bunch of chemicals in my body. The potatoes are soft and creamy. And the squash, perfect.
If you like this recipe, hit follow and subscribe. It's been so fun cooking with you guys. I hope that you learned something in this video. And if you did, like and subscribe. It was fun cooking with you. Have a good night.